Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Misscliks D&D Devotion. It's the next day.
Oh, it's not.
Oh, it's not the next day. It's that night. The bar's closing up. Everyone's getting sent home.
Kellen and Olivia are leaning on each other and swerving all the way back home.
And I'm like, I'm like a nice kind of tipsy.
Hey!
Oh God, Cass, I can see you're a little bit drunk.
Yes. I mean, no, I'm not. I'm just fine, really.
I figured this would be the best time to ask. Would you happen to still have it, by the way?
Wait, what do you mean?
So, I did.
Wait, are you drunk right now?
I might have had a little to drink, but that doesn't matter.
Whatever it is you're going to say, maybe you should wait until...
It doesn't need to wait.
What do
I
you
dropped down on one knee.
No, what?
I raised my hand. I don't have my ring because you already have it. Will you marry me tomorrow, Cass?
I look at Kellen. Is Kellen here?
We're not paying attention at all. We're way ahead.
I look down.
And we're like getting people to dance with us. We're trying to get Guy into it too.
Oh yeah, Guy's totally into it.
We're a throwback, but it's working. It's good.
Mm.
You know, we're both very, very tipsy. Are you sure about this?
It worked for them. It'll work for us too.
But you want to marry someone you love. Are you sure you love me that way still?
I'm absolutely certain. Now, I know I only have about half a century to a century, but I'll enjoy every minute of it.
And you're sure? You know, we just got you out of a marriage with Wanda, and now you want to marry me?
Well, you're always my first choice.
Well, I'm like not thinking entirely clearly. I mean, if you love me still like that, and you still feel that way, then okay. Yes, I'll marry you.
Aww.
Hooray! I kind of stand up and give her a deep kiss.
I kiss him back.
You catch up to everyone else who's already left the tavern area. It's cool outside. There's lights all over the place, kind of running up and down the length of the bridge, which you have a great view of exiting the door of Dee's Diner. Out front, you find Kellen and Olivia, who are waiting for you, and Guy and Bash are with them. Dee's inside locking up. He's got to clean up and everything, but the six of you are together now. You gonna tell them about your plan?
Kellen!
Hey, Macarena. I mean,
Margarita.
Kellen!
What?
Ransom has asked me to marry him tomorrow. What do you say, a double wedding?
What does her face look like? Like, what emotion is she showing?
I'm like super tipsy and I'm like, no, I'm just tipsy.
Kellen's also tipsy, so he kind of like gets up to Cass like this, like.
And I like grab his face. I'm like,
are you sure?
I think so.
That doesn't sound very sure.
Well, I do love him. I just want to make sure that he's making the right decision.
I go up to Ransom and I get really close to his face. I'm like, are you sure?
Well, of course, otherwise I wouldn't have asked the question now, would I?
I go back to Cass. Why don't you think he's sure?
I don't know. We just rescued him from, Rhonda. And, I don't know.
I see her doubtful eyes and I take her face and I'm like, Cass, you need to let yourself have something good. You need to let the universe smile on you. You gotta just let that positive energy flow through you. If this is what feels right, deep in your ask your heart, Cass. Ask it right now.
Hot is this?
Hey, Margarita.
What does it say? Cass says heart.
It says I need to take the plunge.
Then do it. Congratulations!
That must be some wise words you've ever said while drunk.
I'm full of them. And I go up to Ransom and I'm like, Welcome to the family, bro. And I punch him on the shoulder a little too hard.
It's. Well, I've always liked you too, bro.
Sweet. Bro. Yeah. Cass, let's both get married tomorrow.
Okay.
Olivia, is that cool? Because, like, you're the bride. You're, like, number one bride in my heart, you know, number one. But, so you don't have to share your day if you don't want to.
Is that okay, Olivia?
That doesn't seem like...
How's the event gonna work? Like, do we do vow after vow, or do we do, like, vow first dance? Vow first dance.
I mean...
Do we do vow for dance?
Logistics don't matter.
Vow for dance.
I think we do
prepared
vows
anymore.
at the same
Let's do it.
time, and then we go out on the dance floor at the same time.
Babe, it doesn't sound like you're super stoked about this, and I want you to be super stoked about our wedding. So legit, like, whatever makes you super stoked, that's what I want to do. It's not our fault that they want to just glom onto our wedding because they didn't plan their own. Like, we have to tell them to wait.
That's true, and I guess it's gonna be economy for scale, right? Like, considering your new band debut and everything.
I mean, I don't know what any of that means, but, like, I just want you to be happy, so...
It'll be okay.
Cass! That's like girl talk, right? That's not... She doesn't look like she's actually happy, right?
I'm like tipsy, but looking at Olivia, and I walk up to her and I grab her face as well. And I'm like,
Are you sure about this? I don't have to take this from you. I just thought it'd be special if maybe we all get married at the same time.
Can you guys
But we
get
don't
married?
have to do that.
You guys get married just after us and not exactly at the same time? You know, like 1 hour later or something?
I mean, then everybody's at the reception. I don't think that works that way.
I guess not.
I'll tell you what, you can go first.
Okay. Let's go first.
Okay.
I'm still like holding on to Olivia's face.
Cass, I still think she's doing that girl talk thing. I'm not good at interpreting it. You have to interpret it.
I like look her deep in the eyes.
I'm very good at it. She said okay.
I think Ransom's right this time. I feel like he's worked a lot on his ability to understand people.
Okay. If you're sure, Olivia.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody I'd rather see my brother marry right now.
Or anytime, ever.
Or anytime ever. Especially not that other girl.
We don't need to... Let's... Shh. Okay.
Exactly.
The girl you kissed, right?
We don't need to talk about that girl. You're right.
I remember that kiss. It was kind of hot.
So,
I mean, anyone kissing anyone is really hot to me, to be honest. Like,
That's true.
if I
Kisses are
had
hot.
if I had to roll a dice for like the hotness of everybody, I would kind of add a dice every single time because I think everyone in their own rights are kind of hot in a way.
Babe, that's so true. I think that...
Alone or together, whatever.
Babe, you just inspired the name of our next song, which is Kissing is Hot for Everyone.
Ooh.
Kissing is hot for everyone. Do you like it?
Yes.
Sick.
Alone or together is like the next line.
Yeah. That's the chorus. Alone or together. Alone or together.
Alone
I
or
walk
together.
over to Ransom and I'm like, well, I guess it looks like we're getting married tomorrow.
Hooray!
And I like kiss him right away. Because I'm frisky while I'm tipsy, apparently.
Ooh, that's something
And
we
it's
haven't
been a
seen
long
before.
time for, like, Kess, obviously, and
Yeah.
Ransom, so.
All right. Well, you all head back to the inn and take your two separate rooms and wake up the next day.
I wake up super early because I'm gonna go dress shopping.
So do
Oops,
I,
my
and I'm,
wedding's
like,
today. Better go get a
freaking
dress.
out.
Yeah. So let's quickly talk wedding plans, guys. You have no. Did we decide what time the wedding is? I think it's an evening wedding, right?
Yeah.
So you've got like 6
like
hours.
Sunset wedding.
Okay, so you've got like 8 hours to get everything you need for wedding dress, and it looks like someone has already figured it out.
Yep.
Let's see what you've got, Vivi. Oh, is that Ransom with you, or is that just you?
I mean, I think he'd be wearing something else.
Okay.
Oh,
So
well,
that's
I've already got
what
something.
my
I
dress
think.
would be.
You do.
Probably.
Wait, what are we looking at?
We went to a fancy thing at one point or another.
That's true. You do have some fancy clothes from the last time you went to a thing. V has sent me the wedding dress that she's going to be wearing.
Not to all of us. Okay.
So I'm not sure
sorry.
how she's going to get this dress made in 8 hours.
I already have it made from the last time I was gonna get married.
Oh, this is like the wedding dress that you had been working on before.
And I had it, and then I had put it away. But then, since I think I had it around here, because I think this is about the time somewhere nearby that.
Okay, so this is made for you and has been held by the tailors until such a time comes as you need it.
Yeah, but I dip out early because I like wake up and realize what happened, and then I'm like I'm unsure of how Ransom feels, and I'm like scared about it, so I like go to our spot for watching the sunrise.
All right, so you hang out over by the bridge, watching the sunrise behind the town. The rest of you, any last-minute wedding plans, or should we just go straight to the wedding?
I'm trying to get a dress, so I'm going at the shop to see what they have.
Well, they have all sorts of things. They even have a few wedding dresses, like, off the rack.
Do they fit me?
A little bit of alteration here and there. Cinch this up, let that out, let that out, let that out, cinch this up. You know.
Okay.
Go over to the castle and make sure things are set up properly.
You guys, I made a big mistake. I googled sexy anime boy show chest outfit.
I almost want to Google that now.
Oh, thank you, internet.
I'm totally Googling it, sorry.
Yeah, we're all doing that now, clearly.
Well, I'll show you what Kellen's outfit looks like.
No, these are relatively tame.
Yeah.
I expected worse.
Are they, Neil?
I don't know what sort of results you guys are getting from like your Google refined searches based on your previous search history, but mine's pretty tame.
Yeah, me too.
What are you talking about? No, I mean, they're fine. I will show you one I briefly considered that didn't look like what I was imagining for Kellen, but I was very tempted. Let me show you this. Hold on. Here. Just like really pretty.
Oh, that's top notch there, Kellen.
Really gorgeous. But I think, in fact,
oh my god!
I don't recognize this character.
What the?
Neil, are you showing it on stream?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think we need to zoom in on it though.
I think I need a vote on these two dresses.
Well, people can vote on Kellen's outfit too then, because then what I was actually looking for was something more like this. So this is an option, but then I came across something that looks just so Kellen that I think maybe we have to reconsider. And especially because he really wants to show off his dragon tattoo for the wedding. That's his main goal. And so I think he might want to wear that. It looks very like him too, his hair color.
I'm getting a redirect notice.
Yeah, me too, but I got there. Ah,
Okay, here we
Katie.
go. Is this the before and after picture?
Did that work? No.
Yeah, if you scroll to the bottom, I think.
Oh, here we go. Let's put this up for stream. This thing.
I think I just gave it to you, maybe.
Yeah.
Guys really like this half naked outfits all the
That's what
time.
Olivia likes, and I want to show off my dragon tattoo.
Very
There
nice.
was 2 dresses that I shared. I don't know if you
Ooh,
guys got
I only
them.
saw the one of the person
Both on
sitting.
top of each other.
There's this one too. I just typed like something like very sexy wedding dress or something.
Ooh,
All right, so
babe.
the first of Olivia's options here, and the second of Olivia's options, right here.
I could probably share a third one just to make sure chat has choices. You'll find it entertaining, I think. The third one. Where did I find it?
Perfect. Here's one for me.
Oh yes, Ransom. Oh, wonderful.
Oh my gosh, is this article that this picture is from is called Square Enix Tones Down Final Fantasy's Too Sexy Leading Man.
Oh, this is gonna be great. So we've got Ransom here and Kess here. You guys are gonna be fantastic together.
Where's Cass? I didn't see Cass. Oh, there. Oh, theirs is all like super historical romantic and ours is all anime sexy.
Yeah. But I feel that really represents the difference in your characters' relationships with each other, you know?
It does, it fits.
It
Perfect.
fits.
Yeah.
I can't find the dress I found earlier, which is basically just like a really long tank top that's white.
Just a long white tank top.
Hot.
It's a pretty ridiculous outfit. I can't find it. I'm really sad. Just googling sexy wedding dresses. If someone finds my search history, it's gonna be really sad.
Dude, mine too. Do you know how many times I've Googled anime boy something else because of Kellen?
Right, because of Kellen. Uh-huh.
Come on. Come on now. But, you know.
Yeah. Well, the day passes pretty quickly, and before you know it, it's time. There are many people gathered around at Kelbell's place, which has been outfitted with all sorts of flowers and wreaths and bouquets of things and vines growing all over the place. There are guards out front in plate mail with long flowing white cloaks and brightly polished helmets, kind of sparkling at the front gates. Guests are showing up en masse. Carriage after carriage of local noble is making their way here. Part of the deal was that this was going to be kind of like a bigger event for Kelbell, inviting all of these people. Ooh, wait, do you have...
I
Sure.
just wrote that I'm
Okay.
picking the second dress because everyone voted for second dress for
Nice.
Olivia.
Of
Nice.
course it would be.
But if I could find a third dress, I bet they would vote for the.
And it is time for the wedding. You guys have agreed to walk down at the same time, walk back at the same time, right?
No,
simultaneously?
I think they're doing it separate.
I think we're
Yeah,
doing separate,
Anna.
right?
Anna's muted.
I was very emphatically saying, no, Kellen and Olivia go first.
All right.
We walk in, we go up,
Yeah.
we do all our vows, we have a recessional, then they come up, they
Wait,
do
there's
theirs,
my
and they have a
parent.
recessional.
Like, there must be my dad walking me down the aisle, and then there's like.
Yes, your parents are here. Your brother is here. You also see Cass and Kellen's mother and aunt here as well.
Oh, she made it.
Yes, they did.
I walk with, or I guess I stand up with Kellen first, so I'm changed into something different for their part.
Ooh, 2 dresses in 1 ceremony.
Yeah.
Nice.
So prepared.
Very nice.
She was extra prepared. I just got this one dress that I found off the rack.
I love actually how Kess just, like, Kellen didn't even invite her to be his maid of honor, but she just assumed and she was correct. So they didn't even have to talk about it. Just like,
Yeah.
she's like, okay, I'm
just
your maid of
saying.
honor here, I'm standing here. And he's like, oh yeah, sure, sick, awesome.
Yeah.
Or best man, I guess.
I got my somehow childhood friend-ish Anna there.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
friends.
Anna.
Not quite the right word since there's like an employee-employer relationship going on here, but you guys are close. Anna
Well,
shows
Olivia
up.
tend to not have that many girlfriends, so Anna was like the closest thing to a girlfriend she had, because Anna was kind of stuck being her friend. So
Aww. She comes wearing a long kind of green gown with golden jewelry that you recognize as like your mother's jewelry that she's borrowed for this event.
that's cute.
Mm-hmm.
When I see her, I'm like, you look gorgeous.
Oh my god. Thank you. So do you. The two of you, well, who goes down the aisle first, right? Are you doing both of you do like a walk down, or that Kellen is waiting at the end of the aisle and then Olivia's the only one to walk down it?
I'm
Kellen's
walking
waiting.
Kellen's
with my
waiting.
dad. I'm gonna hold my dad's like arm or something.
And Kellen's like, he's not doing that thing that you always see at weddings where like the groom sees the bride walking and you see their eyes kind of glisten like prettily, or like their jaw clenched because they're so. Kellen is openly weeping. Just I love her so much.
I like rub his like shoulder and then hand him a tissue and like dry his eyes.
I probably used all of my orisons to like add special effects to like my dress and stuff with like glimmer and like soft hair like flowing in the wind or something.
She's so beautiful.
She is.
As she's walking down the aisle, you can hear like the noise of the crowd murmuring as they're like, "Oh my god!" Wow, and kind of. Well, it's not deafening. It's not
Ooh,
super
you
loud, but there's
remembered?
definitely a vocalization of the crowd as Olivia comes down. Yeah?
We said it's in a garden, right?
Right, it's outside in the
the-
garden.
And the Lucioles are like gathered and stuff in like little
Mm-hmm.
thingies.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. With the sunset coming in. It's perfect.
You make your way down. The preacher begins to, talk about marriage and what it means and this and that, and then turns to Kellen and does the, you'll now speak your vows. Do you have any particular vows, Kellen? I know we didn't write them ahead of time, but you're kind of a speak from the heart sort of person.
Yeah, preacher man. I would never sit down and write words to say to Olivia because I don't need to. Because my words for Olivia are so ingrained in my heart that my heart just bleeds through when I try to talk about how much I love Olivia. She is my heart. She's my whole world, and she's everything that I want to be and want standing beside me. And not just because she's super stinking hot, and not just because she's like, yeah, babe, so hot right now. Holy cow. Yeah. And not just because she's the best band manager ever and legit I like could not do my job or like practice my art without her, and not just because like she puts up with me, but also because she challenges me and makes me want to be a better man, and I want that in the rest of my life for my art, for myself, and so that I can be a better man for her. So Olivia, Lily, I promise that every day from this day forward, I will spend every day being the best version of me I can for you.
I'm like tearing
So
at this.
sweet.
Preacher
I love
then
you so much.
turns to Olivia, and before any words can get out, there's a commotion from the back aisle, and you see bursting through the doors on a white horse is Alex
no, Neil.
Gilder, who comes galloping up the middle aisle saying, "Olivia, it's not too late! Wait! Come with me! I'll take you away from
Why
this!"
would you do this? It's not what I expected. Oh my god.
He comes down the aisle on his horse. Guards kind of like come chasing after him, weapons drawn, but they stop at a reasonable distance since he's maybe 10 feet from the altar where you guys are standing. His hand is reaching out to you. Beautiful white horse. He's decked out in like his bronze-plated plate mail with his bejeweled sword at his side, hair flowing in the wind.
And
Olivia!
Kellen looks at you with his dragon tattoo exposed and his messy anime hair.
Can I cast a spell?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so that's pretty bad, but that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna cast 2 spells out of shock, but I think it will drive him away. So I'm gonna cast telepathy and alter memory together. So I will
Alright.
telepathically alter his memory, and I bet that's possible. Because I want to share with him my memory, like a fake memory that I'm creating now.
What memory are you creating for Alex Gilder, who is here to steal you away, to take you into his, his palace, which is much better than Kelbel's palace, and make you his wife?
Doesn't he
So-
already have a wife?
He's engaged. It's
He
different.
was supposed to get married. So I show him basically the scene that's being acted right now, except that instead of being on a white horse, he's on a unicorn, because that's way more fun.
Cool.
Why?
And in the fantasy memory I'm putting in his mind, I actually ride away with him. And then pictures of our lives flash before his eyes. Our kingdom is coming together to fight and kill a dragon with our war efforts. And we're like holding hands before battle. He's getting hurt. I'm healing him. I'm landing the biggest lightning strike ever on the dragon as a finishing move, because I never got to do that, and it's really upsetting. So it's a typical kill steal, basically. He was like at 1 HP or something. Then we become queen and king. We're loved by our people. It finishes with a kiss, and then it just ends with like clouds coming in and a weird whisper saying "see you in another life." And then I just share with him the feelings I have with Kellen, and a little scene of Kellen and I walking away in a small house in the middle of a night.
You just see Alex tear up.
Oh.
He sniffs a few times.
And I give him a like weird wink.
Oh,
And I start saying my vows at this point.
he manages a few words before he turns and leaves,
Okay.
which are just, "I'll never stop, Olivia." And then he turns, takes off out through the gates, leaving you
Babe.
to say your vows.
And then I start my vows immediately. Like I'm like I take a deep breath still, because that was a lot to process. And I'm like, Kellen, Reluna is the goddess of passion. And passion is what I live by. And at the beginning, your art made me notice you. And what it really did was made me notice me. So you started inspiring me to create art. And today, I wish for us to create a life together. Whether we end up fighting a big bad dragon or being like super sexy in general, I'm ready to walk away from a life of adventure someday and just have a small house together in the middle of a dark night. And since you're gonna be there and we're gonna have a dark brick road, I bet it will be just right.
I like start crying now.
The preacher makes some signs around you and says, "I pronounce you married. Please."
And then we make out.
Like super makeout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting that.
Yeah. And we just keep going.
At some point, the preacher kind of puts an arm around each of you and starts to shuffle you back down the aisle. Come on
We're
now,
like
kids.
kissing and walking down the aisle.
Come on. Save it for the night.
All right.
We
We
didn't
walk out
save
into
it.
the
Um,
we walk out
I-
into the like foyer, and then I like as we go by Kess, I high five. I'm like, "You're in, sis."
I go and find Ransom.
All right, you find Ransom. Everything is set up for the two of you to come next.
Yeah, I'm busy directing. All right, make sure you move the piano onto the stage there. Yeah?
Yep. Piano
And
is.
I'm like, I know I'm supposed to go stand next to Kess, but I don't want to leave my new bride, so I'm like, "No, you let go. No, you let go." And I'm like, trying to walk, but kissing her and stuff. It's disgusting.
It's so disgusting.
I go
Alright.
find Ransom, and I'm like, Ransom, can we talk?
Yes, what is it, Cass?
Can I talk to you alone right now?
Sure thing.
And I pull him to another room.
This is going to be so exciting. What do you have to say?
Well, I'm nervous, to be honest. We
Of
just
course
started
you'd
this
be,
last
right?
night after we were very tipsy, and I just honestly need to make sure this is what you want. I mean,
Oh, of
there's
course.
so much that's been happening, and
Like, I start tearing up, and I'm like,
Cass, I kind of lay both my hands on her shoulders, and I stare her in the eyes. You mean the world to me, and I want to be with you for the rest of my life.
but 2 days ago you were with Rhonda, and I came back. But
Yeah, and through
I don't
that,
know if
I
you've
realized just how much you mean to me.
okay, if you're sure,
I'm sure.
okay.
and I walk off to get ready.
Alright. You take off to get ready. The things are altered, flowers are changed around here and there to suit the way you guys are dressed instead of the way the others are dressed. And it comes to be time. Ransom, you're down at the end of the... You guys doing the same thing where you're there waiting and then she comes up, or do you walk down and then she walks down?
Sure, I'll take the same one, so I'll be at the altar.
Okay, so you're up there waiting and waiting, and finally, Kess comes on down, and that very
Wait,
long.
So before I go down, I'm with Kellen
Yeah.
behind, and I look at Kellen. I'm like, am I really doing this?
I mean, are any of us really doing anything at any time? Like, we're all just molecules. This wig. I'm sorry. I mean, what is to do anything,
Something boxes. Something.
It's all.
Like, we literally just got back together, and I guess I'm scared. I need you to tell me if I'm doing the right thing.
Well, I can't tell you what the right thing is for your heart. I can tell you what the right thing is for my heart, which is to never let my sister get hurt again. But that could take two forms, That could be you walking down this aisle and cementing your relationship with someone you love. Or you could realize that you were drunk and maybe you want some more time to think about this. Your heart knows the answer. And he kind of listens to your heart. What's it say? What does it say? I hear a kitty cat.
Well, here goes nothing. I mean, I think this is the right decision, but I guess.
Yes,
part
right
of
now.
me-
Ransom or no ransom? He's gone from your life or you're married to him. What is it? 3, 2, 1, now.
Oh, you're right. And then I grab him to walk down the aisle.
Well, he's already at the end of the aisle waiting for you.
No, Kellen.
Oh,
Oh,
Kellen.
sorry, wrong him.
All right. So I'm wearing the dress. Nothing too spectacular. I mean, it's pretty spectacular.
Nothing too spectacular.
All right. And I start to walk down the aisle.
All right, you get down to the end of the aisle. There's a piano sitting there as well. And the preacher goes through the few things about marriage and what it means to spend your life together and the importance of love. And then turns to Ransom and says, I believe you've prepared something for us?
Yeah, I'm sure as everyone here gathered knows, I'm not great with my words. So instead, I decided to prepare a little piece for her. I call this one Only Hope, and I, of course, wrote it.
Helen is starting to actually smile and look warmly at Ransom for the first time.
I whisper at Kellen, I'm like, I bet it's gonna be pretty good, but it's not as good as Olivia. Olivia, can you hear? I can hear you.
See, I walk over, take a seat over here. All right, let's go.
My face just like lights up, but at the same time, I'm like super shocked.
Olivia.
Wait, he's actually gonna play? What?
Oh shit!
Coming through okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
WTF?
If it's better than Olivia, Olivia.
I'm like clapping up there.
Kellen is like tears rolling down his face, and for the first time he's like looking at Ransom with love, and he goes over and he just gives him a big hug. He's like, my brother, I love you, my brother.
And it's just like mopping at the back uncontrollably. She's like,
Oh no, it wasn't that much, you know. I learned it for about a week, so Sorry, that's
And-
about the best I could do.
Your heart
And
is
I'm
so
just
beautiful
like
and
crying
pure.
as well. And I'm just like, that was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my life. And I like go over and kiss him early.
Not yet.
I'm sorry, I can't not. That's beautiful. I've never been so sure of something in my life.
Well then,
He's a man of few words, but such a deep heart.
Ransom, will you take Kess?
Oh, of course.
Kess, will you take
Isn't this
Ransom?
where she's supposed to say something?
Wait, yeah, I don't get a speech.
I'm sorry, I've just been so blown away by the music, I forgot what I was supposed to say. Do you
I
have
know,
words there?
after that, it's like, what do I say?
Kess,
I look really
Um,
proudly because I opened the book that registers all the notes and I like close
Oh,
and like
nice.
forever. And in it, it's like really stupid because at some point it's sort of it's better than Olivia and Olivia.
I look down and I'm like still tearing, and then I look up and I just kind of look at him with this newfound look after he plays that, because for some reason I think it's partially played in my dream somewhere. And I've thought about it from time to time, and I didn't realize it till this moment that it was the right place to definitely be. And so I look up to him and I say, Ransom, somehow you were able to play something from my dream, and I don't know how, but I know that means that this was the right choice and we were always meant to be together. And I couldn't have asked for a better partner in life. I found love once, and I never thought I'd find love again. And I found it with you, and it was worth all the craziness that we've gone through throughout the years, and the adventures and everything else. And I love you, and I can't wait to spend the rest of our lives together and travel and do all the things and see your newfound passion progress. And I don't think I've ever loved anyone else as much as I've loved you. And I can't wait to do this with you.
Oh.
well then, Kess, will you take Ransom?
Yes, I will.
Ransom.
What kind of a dumb question is that? Of course I will. I go walk up to Kess and I give her a big kiss.
The clapping and cheering drowns out the creature's words.
I add little fireworks with my magic.
Aww.
You guys walk down the aisle together as husband and wife. As from one of the upper windows of the keep, Rhonda watches with anger in her eyes. The silent determination that this isn't the last you've seen of her. But you get down to the end of the aisle. There's Kelbell at the end who's clapping, head cocked to the side, a little bit surprised, and goes, I didn't know this was happening. Ransom, I thought you were marrying my niece. But clearly this is a good thing, and you guys are happy. I have to apologize that I don't have a wedding present for you.
Your love and friendship is all the wedding present any of us could need, Cal buddy.
Oh, so you don't
I
want
mean, no,
the...
maybe keeping your niece away.
No, babe, it's okay. We'll take our gifts.
You guys don't want the house that I bought for you down on the lake. It's okay. I can give someone else the lake house then. Kess and Ransom, do you want the lake house?
We'll take it.
The lake house is amazing. It's okay, Kellen. We'll share it.
Take our wedding, take
Sure,
our house.
whatever.
Just kidding.
Specialness.
Kellen, Olivia, the lake house is yours. It's already been engraved with your names on the frame of the door.
Perfect. And then I
Oh.
like,
Don't worry, Cass and Ransom. We'll share.
There's
we'll
a
welcome you into our home.
there's a property for sale down the street. I'll see if we have the budget to acquire it for the two of you.
That's so nice. You're so nice to us, Cowbell. You're the best.
hold your tongue there. She motions, and a carriage pulls up to the front, complete with coffee cans hanging out the back of it. 4 white horses to pull it. Red ribbons hanging down the sides. Little flowers on the front. The runners are kind of plated with Kellen and Olivia, all the way down it.
Perfect. I absolutely love it. Suddenly, Olivia is like even more smiley than before because like she's okay with sharing her big day, but she's kind of liking the whole Kellen and Olivia thing.
Yeah. And the carriage is ready to take you guys to your new home, which is right over here. On the edge of the sunken lake, just to the north of the King's Forest.
Oh, I forgot to say that Guy was one of my best men too. Just
of
for
course.
color.
Yeah, he's there.
I mean,
Koibu's
I figured that was obvious, just so.
Koibu's chorus was there in the back, plodding quietly. They showed up.
We were like,
yeah. And I guess Kellen and Olivia head off to their new lake house.
Where we consume the marriage.
Consummate.
Consume it. I want to consume it. I want to consume the marriage.
You can do
We're
that.
gonna do all sorts of crazy things.
We consume it, we consummate it, we do all the marriage wedding things.
All the marriage wedding things.
All of the things.
Yeah, just remember if you're going to try and take a bath, that you have to plug up the hole in the bath before you fill it with water.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an important thing. Because sometimes you want to take like a really nice big bath and then you just forget to plug it in and then the water runs for like half an hour and the bathtub doesn't fill up and you're like, what the hell? Story from my wedding night, everyone.
I was wondering if that's what we're talking
Yeah. Totally forgot to plug it up. Water kept running and running. We're like, why isn't this getting any fuller?
Or it's a magical bath that just can stock up water forever and ever. And then if one day you need to fill up a lake, because there's like a sleeping dragon or something or whatever, bam, it's useful.
Kess and Ransom, what do you guys do?
Well, I guess something's prepared for us. So I think we probably get like the nicest place in town. Like we just blow our money and get like a super nice, like sweet place. And then I think afterwards, I tell Ransom that we should go on an adventure together. Or I don't know, we discussed that.
Well, you know me. I'm always up for an adventure.
I think it's time we took a nice long vacation and saw the world together.
Fantastic. Let's.
And that is the end of Misscliks Devotion, at least for now. Maybe we'll come back one day and revisit some of these characters and stories, but for now, we're going to put a happy ending on one of our Misscliks campaigns.
A happy ending, you say?
Wow.
Do you have something?
I was saying, finally, is this our first happy ending?
Yeah.
It's not
Yes.
because everyone died?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, guys, we did it! We did it!
Die.
Dude, and there's so many Misscliks regulars in chat. Like all of your names,
Yeah.
I recognize them, and I from way back in the day. Thank you for waiting until now, till this moment, for your happy ending. Thank you for sticking with us. I see you and I love you.
And it's funny because so many things have gone wrong in this campaign that it's like
Yeah.
you wouldn't think we'd have a happy ending.
Right.
I know Manga Man's like, it only took 5 years.
Yeah, 7 different
It
campaigns.
is.
No happy endings until now.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, December sacrificing herself for the love of Lily was kind of happy even though they died.
Yeah. And
No, it was
Amnesia
pretty messed up,
sort of
actually.
ended happily. I mean, half the party died, but the other half of the party kind of did well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
And-
yeah, this is the first real happy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Wow.
want to give a big thank you shout out to Neil because as a lot of people in chat were saying, this is a different format than any other show
Yeah.
that they know of. It's different than any show I've ever played in. It was completely experimental and it was something that we were like, Neil, what do you think of making basically a soap opera? And he totally delivered. So everyone, please give lots of credit to Neil tweet him, tell him how great he is. And because this is not like a game that Neil learned and then had us play. This is a game that Neil made for us to play. So,
well, thank you. I guess that's it, everybody. We'll see you.
Do you guys want to end now, or do you want to do like Q&A or tell people if you had other plans or something?
I would think a little DNA or
sure.
DNA.
Let's go to a break. That way the VODs will be nice and easy for everyone to view later. So we'll be back in just a few minutes with some Q&As and some postmortems on Misscliks Devotion. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our Misscliks Devotion end of game chatter. So, before if you're in chat right now, send us some questions. Any questions you have, I'll feed them to the players. I'm going to start it off with a question of my own. Let's start with Ransom. What was your favorite bit?
Bit.
Doesn't have to be a full-fledged episode. It could have just been a scene, or it could have been a whole story arc. What is all the things, your favorite?
Well, I enjoyed the mystery of the first band that we were competing against.
Yeah.
What was their name?
That was good.
Can't remember.
The one that Guy was in.
Secundus.
Yeah, Secundus.
Yeah,
The way that they were playing, I thought that was a very cool way to start the band that's not really cheating per se, but kind of cheating.
Yeah, and you've got that super expensive ring too that we never get back.
Oh yeah.
Right. So the King's Ring.
Mm-hmm. Secundus, by the way, is a complete rip on Primus and all of the band members. Well, I guess not all the band members' names, but everything of or pertaining to Secundus is actually related to the real-life band Primus, including D and D's Diner, and most of the song names, and Guy Claypool, and all that is Primus references, which is for my wife, who's a big Primus fan. And now time for some questions from
Devotion.
chat. Yeah.
Does you love your wife?
I do. Oh.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
Because, like I said, this was kind of an experimental theme and like way of role playing. I'm curious, like, how you guys think the experiment went. Like, what in terms of like the gameplay mechanics, not just the story. What did you guys like about this kind of game, and what was like different than other tabletop role playing games?
Us, like,
yeah.
Well, I haven't had as much experience, so like I've had the one before this and this one. And I tend to like this one more because I like the role play aspect of it. Like you can roll dice there's always that, but the acting aspect of it is really cool to me. And it's more like the story of like, you know, RPGs are my favorite thing to play in video games, and there's always a story. So I feel like there's more development and story here and more like things to play out. So it's like you almost want to know what happens next yourself.
I really liked the creative aspect of us being bards within that kind of format too, that like a lot of times we were called to be super creative on the spot, which was like a big challenge, but that's really, really fun for me. Like when Neil would be like, how's the song go? And then I have to just like make it up. That was really, really fun for me.
You did a really good job on that too.
Thank you. I feel like it helped me be more like courageously creative from doing the show. Yeah. Because like, you know, you do stuff like that enough times that like, yeah, it's not going to be perfect, but you get used to just kind of like putting yourself out there a little more, which I
Yeah.
really like.
I found it very difficult to keep the mechanics fresh and interesting. From a DM standpoint, this was one of the hardest campaigns I've had to run because there was always like, well, I don't want to just make them make like performance checks. Like, what do we do to make this more interesting than just kind of roll some dice, which was difficult to keep up with. So
The challenge episode was super fun.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, that
actually
was
probably my
fun.
favorite episode, the like mini game episode.
Yeah.
I mean, favorite episode gameplay wise.
Mm.
There was a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
good role play moments, but that one was,
Gameplay wise, it was that for sure.
yeah.
Role playing wise, I really liked the episode where like we were preparing the other wedding, and then we caught like the mom sleeping with the dad, and like
Oh
everybody was
yeah.
there, and there was just so much drama. And then I was like, should I flirt with the dad? Oh no, there's gonna be too much. And then I punched Guy, and like
That was a really good moment. when
and
you
like
did
I
that.
actually
was really
felt
good.
really angry at the mom. Like it's rare when I completely like get the feelings of my character like in the moment, and I felt real anger towards like not Neil, like the mom inside of Neil. I was so pissed at her. She was so mean.
She was. She's the worst.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
I
your
think-
that's your
I think-
mom. Come on.
I
she's not
think
the
all the NPCs and everything you put into the campaign, because you had to play some hard NPCs. I think you did really well. Like it's super believable with all of them.
oh, the brother. I'm sad we didn't get more of the brother though. That was really good.
Most of you guys missed Kess's speed dating episode, which was hella fun.
yeah, that
and
was
super
so
rough.
good.
I gotta
That
go
was
back and
really
watch
good.
that one.
Yeah.
You just played like a bajillion NPCs that she was dating.
Yeah.
I had to do like
That's
7
hilarious.
dates with Cass all at once, and she was a champ through it all.
That's hilarious.
Let's just say that none of the dates went well.
And then she realized all she wanted was Ransom.
Yeah.
It
Aw.
wasn't Guy. Guy was great.
What about
Yeah.
you, Trump? We all talked, but you didn't.
I talked first.
Oh, okay.
So, question from chat. What do you guys think your characters would now have got on best with from another campaign?
Who, like, what character would they get along best
Yeah,
with?
I
Is
think
that what
that's
you said?
supposed to be. Who do you think your characters would have gotten on best with from another campaign? Like, who would Kellen be best
Oh.
friends with? Who would Ransom be best friends with, etc.
I think that Arcus and Kellen would be bros. I think they would love each other because I think Arcus would like not really contradict anything Kellen said, and he'd always just kind of be down to party.
Arcus was Harvey's character, right?
He was Miss Harvey's character in Misscliks D&D Demigods, and he was just kind of a like go with the flow, let's all party, I don't care kind of guy. I think they'd get along. I think they could be bros.
What about you, Olivia?
I think it would be December.
Oh,
Because December kind of followed Lily around, so I would think the dynamic would be that Olivia would do whatever she wants, and she'd kind of have a girlfriend / follower with her, and she would really like, sadly, kind of not manipulating December, but kind of having December along for the ride. But I would like to hope that their relationship would evolve past that. It wouldn't just be a whole like ego thing, but I think it would start with that. I think she'd dig that from a girl.
December is from Misscliks D&D Pirate Edition, which was our first campaign. All of these are on YouTube if you guys want to go back and watch them.
What about you, Cass?
I haven't played enough campaigns to compare it, so like I've only played one before this, but I don't know.
It's okay. You can say Maribel. It's all right.
That's who I was gonna say though. So
Oh, yeah.
I think Ransom would be friends with Maribel.
Ransom and Maribel are good.
Yeah.
They are meant to be friends. You're right.
I don't know who Cass would. I mean, do you guys think of an old character that you would put Cass with?
I mean, like, this is kind of obvious, but Trellis.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Well, Trellis is a little different.
That's
I feel
true.
Like, I feel like she is more like
They're totally
she's not
different
as
characters,
soft as
but
Cass. Yeah,
that's why I would think they could get along.
that's true.
You'd probably get along with December as well. December seems easy to get along with.
That's because she has 6 willpower. So she'll literally do anything that anyone wants.
Yeah, so it's easy to get along with.
Yeah. I think actually Kess and Adia would get along pretty well.
Yeah.
Because Kess likes like the proper refined things in life, and so does Adia. And Adia was kind of a brat, but Kess is like forgiving enough that wouldn't get in the way.
Yeah,
And
it
what's
took a
the
long time
worst?
for her to forgive, though, too.
What's the worst fit for our characters?
Oh, who would they hate?
Yeah.
I think Kellen would have a hard time getting along with Maribel. I think they would just have nothing in common.
Yeah, I think Kess and Tyrant would have trouble getting along.
Yeah.
I think Olivia would hate Monsieur Varnouche.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's just so sweet and nice. And he probably wouldn't buy her whole like sexy act. Like he's the opposite. He's like asexual and just like a sweet, giddy little man.
And he's also
Ooh.
like already married, so this would just
Yeah.
be
Yeah, so he'd be like,
what the hell are you
kids.
Dude, Manga Man suggests Kess and Faye, that they would get along really well. I totally agree. Kess and Faye would be like BFFs.
That's
Faye was Miss Harvey's character from Pirate Edition.
That's true.
Okay.
Work. And Faye and Ransom actually kind of work too.
Oh yeah, Faye and Ransom would get along really well too. That should be a crossover sometime that
That would be kind of
Kess
funny.
and Ransom meet Faye. That'd be awesome.
Nick's asked what happened to Kellen's foreign lady. What?
Oh
Was
yeah,
she
really?
not?
No, tell us what happened to her.
She wandered home in the desert. You know, she can make her way around. So she gets back home, explains to her family that there was just a really big problem, and the elf totally dumped her out in the middle of the desert with no supplies, and told her to just fuck off. And now that entire village has like immortal hatred of Kellen and all elves.
Whoopsies.
Shit happens. Oh well.
She survived somehow.
She's alive, but you guys were not good diplomats in that situation. But it's okay, because, you know, they fucked up too.
She's fine.
She'll be fine.
Ooh.
What has been your favorite development of your character over the course of the year or so? Let's start with Olivia this time.
It's my favorite, and at the same time, I'm sad I didn't explore other avenues. But I did not expect Olivia to stay with Kellen. Like
He's
I
just so
actually,
hot.
I at least thought she would have an affair, possibly even with Ransom for extra drama. But it just never felt right, either with Ransom or anyone. Like, even Alex Gilder, like, they didn't spend that much time together, even though he was, like, Prince Charming and saying the right things. So it just felt wrong to, like, run off with him. Like, we wouldn't have needed to build that up for, like, probably another year. Of, like, just kind of talking and going away.
I kind of thought you would take the opportunity and ditch off with him at the very end.
You crazy? We're gonna get our happy ending, Neil. By
I
hook or by
thought of
crook.
it, but it just felt wrong. Like, I actually think the biggest surprise was that I feel like Olivia and Kellen kind of grew together as a couple throughout the show. And I expected them to be kind of a vapid, useless couple. And I don't know, they seem pretty solid, and I did not think that would happen. They're a little bit superficial, but like they're superficial together.
Oh.
If I can piggyback on that, that's actually what I was gonna say, is that like when we set up this relationship, the idea was that Kellen was like unhealthily obsessed with Olivia for no reason other than that she was just on a pedestal to him. And so like he was set up for her basically, because he's like this artist and he can make up whatever in his head and believe it, and you know, he can believe that this is the one true love, even though it's just kind of superficial. But then especially when she started like taking on all these duties as the band manager and like getting into their life together, and then especially when she started doing her own art that was not like the same as Kellen's art, it was totally different, and then they could like engage in creating things together. It was like they started challenging each other and complimenting each other, and all of a sudden it started to become more real. Yeah. And so our characters, like, and I don't know, I speak for myself, but I think this is true for you, Jen. We just kind of like did what we thought our characters would do, and they built a relationship with each other. So we were like,
I did not expect that, because like
No.
I like creating drama and doing like things that will make the story go, oh god, like punching guy, like that's
Yeah.
my type of move.
that was my favorite role play moment, by the way.
So like I would have expected me to wanna make Olivia have sex with more people, like girls and guys, and like
Well,
anyone that associates with any gender, like.
I thought that Kellen was going to have an affair with Guy, and then when like the moments came, he loved Olivia. It was so weird.
I was trying to steer us into having like a 3 people semi-healthy relationship.
But
Like,
Kellen ended up hating that too.
Like that
They had that one night, and then they were like, no, never mind. We just
it
love
was
each other.
Yeah, it didn't work, but I was okay with that. Like I had a whole plan in my head where like we'd have a polyamorous situation with Guy, and then at some point it was actually the cue for me to be like, oh my god, I'm like, it's actually the 2 guys together, and I'm just like on top of it, and I shouldn't impose, and then running off with Alex Gilder and possibly having still the campaign with the 2 guys on the side. It would have been pretty funny.
I think
That was
like,
all
Neil,
in my head.
Neil, you went "Oof," because there was some real chemistry between Kellen and Guy.
Yeah, I kind of thought that's how they were going to end up. I really thought, well, that's what I was kind of aiming for, was that Olivia
I
and
was
Alex
okay
would
with
get
it.
together, and poor Kellen, left alone, would end up with Guy.
Neil really wanted Kellen to be left alone. He thought this whole prophecy thing was going to ruin Kellen's life. He wanted Kellen to suffer. But we thwarted him for once in these 5 years of my characters dying.
Yeah. What about you, Ransom? What was your favorite moment of your character's development?
Well, I just enjoyed the I enjoyed sticking V with the consequences of giving Ransom 6 charisma. So,
Wow.
because I played Ransom, not I mean, actually, out of all the characters, probably this one's the most, aside from my own personality. I can at least now go even more wild, probably. So it was fun exploring how that went and how that actually caused there to be a rift between Ransom and Cass. It hurt, but it was good drama.
Nice. What about you, Cass?
Gosh, what about Cass? I mean, she went through so much in this campaign, like from having these weird dreams to thinking she was crazy. I think
Or
for
a
me,
drug addict.
yeah. Well, for me, it's like playing those roles, like playing a character how she would if she is distressed from dreams and nobody was believing her. Like, because we see that in movies where like nobody believes a character, and to actually play it as like, oh my God, like, believe me, this is happening. And like playing that in depth. And then after that, playing like the roles of what it felt like to be abandoned by somebody and not feel like somebody was there for her, and to be going through pain and hurt, and like to portray that, like I had to really get into character, because there's some days I was like, actually crying and distraught. So like to play my character was such a it was an experience, because I get into like movie characters and video game characters really easily. So you can imagine a year of me playing a character that I'm supposed to be, how it feels. So yeah, it was cool to see the depth of how my character was, and not necessarily what I would make decisions of, but like to know what my character should be doing and like how she felt about it.
Nice. Next question is, what happened after Ransom drank the anti-love potion? Did it fix him, or did it not do anything? sort of fixed him, but I mean, once someone starts messing with your brain chemistry, even with magic, nothing's ever going to be the same afterwards. So, lingering effects of various kinds. Just leave it at that. Were there any other questions?
What progression does V have with her dreams? Does she start to understand them? I think she understood a little bit in the last one, but honestly, I don't feel like there was so much else going on. I mean, that could honestly be a whole nother thing to like really see into.
Yeah, I think like that's a storyline that could be continued and extended.
Yeah.
But I
sure.
feel like we're just gonna have to leave it half done.
Yeah.
As for what happened since only half of the dream vision about dragons and people and futures was, since you guys took the short happy ending path rather than the like personal sadness but long-term benefit of the world path.
We'll probably just all die from dragons.
I mean, things
Maybe
aren't
not
gonna
us.
go well.
Like, if we actually end up secluded in a little house and we're like us center from a city, I bet we can live off happily ever after while everyone else dies.
Yeah.
I got purified food and water, like that.
Like, this is just like the Bay versus Bay situation. For those of you who understand that one.
Mm-mm.
None of you. Wow.
Oh, what?
All right, someone in chat will get it.
Good for them.
What about Guy? They asked what happens to Guy, because Guy makes up with his friend, but do they end up together?
No, not romantically. They reform
Okay.
Secundus and do their best to become better artists. I don't know if they'll succeed or fail. I'll probably rope them in another campaign somewhere else. We'll figure that out.
Oh.
And we'll also probably see the fallout of you guys not putting your personal happidness second and the fate of the world first in other campaigns that I run elsewhere. Yeah, it's great. Now you didn't fix the problems. That means I can just keep running that story in another campaign. So we'll see how that goes.
I want to ask everybody how they would like to imagine like a few years down the road from the wedding.
Ooh, where are you in 5 years? Kess, where are you in 5 years?
In 5 years, gosh. I don't know that I can say that because, I don't know. I mean, there's two options. Like, she's still traveling the world with Ransom and maybe living and traveling back with Kellen and Olivia, and I don't know. I don't know what in 5 years what's going on with her.
Ransom, maybe you can help fill in the details there.
Yeah, you fill it in.
Sure. I mean, this is a huge world, but we'll be probably somewhere. We've probably traveled one side or the other and back. I imagine 5 years. We're just on some unnamed, beautiful, pristine nature hill or something, watching the sun set.
Pretty good.
Olivia, where are you in 5 years?
I think at the start, like right after the, I guess, honeymoon at the lake house, she would want to encourage Keller and her to explore their new dragon metal band. Kind of do a small tour with that, travel for a little while, and I think meanwhile in the travel, she would end up bringing up babies. And I don't know how Kellen would react to that because I think she's nearing her 30s, like mid-30s, and she's feeling that biological clock last call. And I think she would end like doubting herself and like, shit, is the life I want the traveling life, or shouldn't I be like at home or like taking care of the kingdom or like at the lake house, and shouldn't we have little half-elf babies? So I don't know how Kellen responds to that. It's like 3 years in after our world tour. We like get home and it's like, what now?
So I think that with like the rise of new metal, there are so many people that are interested in it that it becomes like near the lake house in that area, and or not near the lake house there becomes like this yearly meeting of all the new metal bands, like a festival. Okay.
I'm also starting like an alternate live action painting movement called Raw Sugar.
Okay, yeah. So I think that what happens is like we're just kind of like leading thinkers in the art and music space, and we come to kind of be like respected for that. And every year these people kind of start like congregating around us. So like
We're
on
doing
that
a music festival, basically.
yeah, and we don't even mean to, but just because of like our openness and your talent for management and stuff, all of a sudden like Lily Con starts to happen, you know? And I think that what happens is as we're talking about like what's going to happen with this and like is it important enough to us to really invest in it? We like Kellen never thought that he'd be someone to stay in one place, but he cares so much about the artistic integrity and like the, you know, the coming together of the minds of Lily Con that he's like, I could do this, you know, this could be something that could keep me in one spot. So he like starts to consider this whole like maybe we don't have to travel our whole lives thing. But he's not sure about that. But what he is sure about is when he said that he didn't want to have children, it was because he never really had like his parents were obviously a little bit hands off and they kind of had this traveling life, and he just felt like the relationship with his parents was all off. And, you know, Olivia's parents seemed to not really support her too. And he just was like, I don't think we could ever be good parents. So he was just kind of like, nah, that's not for me. But as their love progressed and they took care of each other and were like so solid, he started to become more and more open to the idea. So I don't know what they ultimately decide, but I think that, you know, I think she eventually probably wears him down. Maybe not within 3 years.
She would
but
like eventually also starts like obsessing about getting old. And then I bet she would try to like pull some kind of crazy plan to go get that ring of eternal youth.
Dude, and actually I bet that's what convinces Kellen ultimately that he wants to have children with her, is that he like sees some indicator of her mortality and realizes that like her life is so much shorter than his, and that he'll be without her sooner than he knows, and he wants to see her eyes in a little baby's face. And then they have babies, and then they have lots of babies.
And we get a ring of eternal youth, so I think sexy.
No, there's no ring of eternal youth. You die.
No,
Sorry.
No,
it's fine.
But my son and daughter lived through.
Well, I think that's it for questions.
I didn't realize that until just now. It's so sweet. He totally does have babies with her because of that.
Because of her going like, well, if I'm gonna die, I should at least look sexy until I die.
Well, everyone, this has been Misscliks D&D Devotion. It's been a pleasure. It's been about a year as well.
Yep.
It's a good amount of time for a campaign.
Yeah.
You can always put another questionnaire up on Reddit to answer any other questions too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You want to put that up on the Misscliks Reddit right now, Kess? And then people can answer?
I wouldn't know how to do it. I've never done a Reddit post in my life.
Wow, well, now's the time to learn, Kess.
I mean, I don't even have a Reddit.
Well, mine, now's the time to create one.
Go ahead. Show me how it's done, Trump.
All right, well, we'll talk it out.
There's not going to be a Reddit thread, anyone. It was a good idea.
Should we do like our...
Yeah, let's do some shout outs and then close it out for the year. I don't think we're going to have any more Misscliks content until January, and then there'll be some surprises maybe. I don't know. I'll be surprised by whatever's going to happen, so you should be too. Let's start with our shout outs with Kess.
I am Kess, or Vivre la foi. You can find me at that name for everything: Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all the things. I will be streaming after this. I'll be playing Just Dance 2018, so come get your exercise on. I'll be streaming Christmas and also streaming Lights tomorrow night, so come check it out. And IRL streaming the Oregon Gardens, which has like a ton of cool events going on.
Very cool. Ransom.
Hey, you can find my stuff at Trump SC, Twitch, or YouTube. I play a bunch of Hearthstone. This latest expansion has been fun. Looking forward to doing more of it. Maybe I'll win the Twitch contest for the dungeon run.
Olivia.
Big shout out to the whole cast here and you, Neil. If you guys weren't fun, I wouldn't play D&D every week. At least not online, on Skype. Isolating myself from society, but yet feeling a deep connection with my friends. It's really fun. I enjoy it a lot. I love having chat there. It makes the show like something special. It's also really cool seeing like people stick with us. No matter like I don't know how the show fluctuates so much, but between like the shows that have 2,000 people and then that have 50 people, it's crazy to always have like people that hardcore watch the show, and also people that come up like that used to, because I don't do many cons anymore, but people that used to come up to me to talk about the D&D show and are super specific about like one episode that one time 4 years ago. I'm like, Jesus, that's so cool. I think it's my favorite type of encounters at convention. So yeah, big shout out to everybody. Let's have love. This show was really fun, and I wish us lots of other shows. We won't leave you. We'll be back.
Anna. I'm sorry, Kellen.
I also want to thank everyone for doing this crazy show. It kind of takes a lot of guts to do something new and to put yourself out there with a very emotional, dramatic show, and to kind of like throw ourselves into something that can be kind of silly but also kind of meaningful and kind of riding that line. So I thought that was really cool. And a lot of you are saying it so well in chat that you felt part of it, and I also felt like you in chat were part of it. You guys are so important to what we do, so I want to really thank you, all of you who come and hang out with us and participate and suggest things and get to know our characters, because when you get to know them, it makes us know them better, and it really helps us play. So thank you, and thanks to all of you players, because like Jen said, it's a really fun, really special thing to get to do this with people, and especially thanks to Neil, because I think this was really hard and really cool for him.
Well, thank you. I'll close it out. I just do a bunch of D&D stuff. I think I have like 5 shows at various times on various places. So if you like D&D things in general, come on by twitch.tv/Koivu sometime. And a big shout out to the cast, because all of this drama was like cast created. You know, I might have like fueled the fire here and there, but it wouldn't have worked if you guys hadn't made it happen. So congratulations to the 4 of you. This was a lot of fun.
Good job, Neil. I'm so proud of you. You were such a good fueler.
Yeah, you made me want to leave with Alex Gilder.
Well, then shout out to my own channel's chat, because every Tuesday before Misscliks started, you'd be like, okay guys, how are we gonna screw with them today? And a couple of people were more interested in the like planning of the drama for you guys than actually watching the show.
That's hilarious.
So there are a few people out there who have really helped to fuel what's going on here, specifically Twig Taco out in chat.
That's really
thanks, Twig Taco.
That is twisted. It's unacceptable.
Yeah.
I think chat reaction is super great. Like last week when me and Ransom and O came back together, the like cheers and happiness of people was amazing. I was just like, all right.
It was so cool to experience a happy ending with those reactions too.
Yeah. Everybody is super excited. Like, yes. Or people ask every week, like, what's gonna happen? And I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen to my character.
Yeah.
So great.
All right. That's it, everybody. Good night. We'll see you in 2018.